Good. Once you've opened and created a new presentation in Google, I want to show you a few points about how to format it correctly, how to select good images, some points about bulleted text, and then of course at the end how to cite your sources. So the correct title format is what's the most important thing at the outset. You can see that I've created a new presentation here and I've given it the correct title at the top, which is the class name, a hyphen, your name, a hyphen, and then the name of the project. And in this case, it's the Colonial Energy project. Then the title slide opens up. I've chosen a background theme that's not distracting, that'll emphasize the images that I have, particularly since most of my images are black and white. I wanted a light background so that the contrast would really bring out the images. This is the correct title, Colonial Energy project, and mine I wanted to focus on water power. There it is. Below that you should put your name and the date and the subtitle, and then we're going to go up to slide and we're going to click on a new slide. We're ready to add some images. Images should be the focus of your slideshow, not the text. So I've got a few images that I thought I could sort through, and of the 3 that I found, I wanted to choose 2 of them. The first one here is an image of an old mill in Massachusetts. We looked at this image the other day online, and you can see there's the water wheel over here on the left-hand side, and there's the mill and a bridge going across. So there's probably, looks like a waterfall here, so this must be the thing called the mill pond. I've got another image of the same building, but taken from a different angle. And you'll notice that as I look at this image, it's much clearer and it's much more telling. This image has some trees in the way, so there's a bit of distractions in the foreground, whereas this image, there are trees in the front, but they're pruned nicely, and really we can emphasize the main points that I want to get at, which is how energy was used. You can see the flue here that was designed to direct water over the mill to make the mill wheel spin. So of these 2 images, I think I like this one the best. When I choose an image and I want to insert it into my slideshow, I'm going to go ahead and copy the image. Then I'm going back to my slideshow, and down here I'm going to paste the image. It'll take a moment to load. At the top it says creating images, and there it is. I'm going to drag it down just a little bit so it's centered in the slideshow. And at the top I want to give this one a little title, so in this case I'll just give it the title of Massachusetts Mill. And then I'm going to set the image off to the side so I can add some text here. The text will be a little bit too large, so I'm going to have to shrink the text from 30 point down to about 24 or even 18 will work fine. I also mentioned that you want these to be bulleted text. So if you click on the More button over here on the right hand side, you can select the bullet item and the text will come out bulleted. And then I wanted to emphasize just a couple of points. You can choose what it is you want to emphasize with this, but I would say there's the flue on right, wheel on right, and that'll be sufficient for what I have. This doesn't quite fit in here, so what I'm actually going to do is press return and get rid of the bullet and just tab so I can get this image, this information in, and have the image in the right place as well. That looks satisfactory. One other thing we have to do then, when you choose an image, I didn't like this one, so I'm going to delete that page. Then you have to cite the source for that image. We're going to create a works cited page. Up at the top, you have to know the name of the website where you access the information. In this case, it's the Library of Congress, and usually somewhere near the top of the page there'll be a string that'll show you from general to more specific where the information is that you're accessing online. I see below this it says the Library of Congress. This is in the Prints and Photographs reading room. This is the Prints and Photographs online catalog, and then it says search results. Those are too specific, so if someone else was going to look for this, I'd probably direct them to the Library of Congress Prints and Photographs online catalog. Going back to my slideshow now, I'm going to put in a new slide, and this slide is going to be the last slide of my show, so I'm going to title this Image Citations. I want these to be numbered, so again I'm going to go up to the More formatting options for the text, and I'm going to click on the numbered list, and here we go, number 1. And I'm going to type in what I just said, which was the Library of Congress. And this was the, I've forgotten the name of it, so I'll go back and look again. And it says the Prints and Photographs online catalog. And then in these odd little like sideways carrot-shaped brackets, is where you're going to put the web address. Not all instructors require the URL to be used, but I do. So I'm going to copy the web address. I'm going to paste it in here, close the brackets on the other side, and the last thing to type in is the date that this image was accessed. So today is the 13th, and I'm done. Except that you'll notice this is huge. The text is giant. This is not a page that you necessarily need to share with anybody when you're giving a presentation. We just want to make sure that the images are cited correctly. So in this case, I'm going to shrink the size of this text from 30 all the way down to 12, and that'll be sufficient. Do this for every image that you use. Right when you put the image in the slideshow, go to the last slide and put in the correct citation, which is the name of the website, the URL, and the date that you accessed it. Press return and it's ready for my second image. One other point about images that I wanted to make is this. Sometimes you'll choose images, I think I mentioned this one yesterday, that really tell a lot, but you have to look at them and figure out what it is that they mean. Like this image here that has the axle coming from the water wheel with all sorts of wheels attached to it, which could drive belts, which could then drive other machinery. So as you choose images, make sure you choose the 5 that you think tell you the most about the particular energy source that you're using. Once you've done that, you've got the title formatted correctly, you've chosen 5 good images, you've put them in there with bulleted text just to emphasize key points, and you've cited your sources, then you're done. You're ready to go back to your slideshow, press the blue share button, and share it with me.